why are you swinging the bat at Rocco like that?
A little boy just slapped hard across the face, bursts into tears and throws himself into his father's arms. At the same time, his mother hears the crying and rushes downstairs. Both sides start pointing fingers.
I'm done, you hit my child!
Your son was out of control! When you didn't see him swinging the bat at my kid!
And the argument quickly spirals out of control. Thankfully, the host of the party, David, steps in and pulls them apart just in time to calm things down. But this whole mess should never have happened in the first place. It was David's 40th birthday. He'd invited all his friends and family over to celebrate. What was supposed to be a warm and joyful gathering was ruined by one unruly kid. This boy was old enough to know better, yet he still clung to his mother like a toddler. And to make matters worse, right in front of her, he went around ripping up the flowers and plants in David's garden without a care in the world. To settle the kid down, David grabbed a baseball bat and suggested the children play a game together, hoping it would redirect the boy's energy. But no one could have predicted that this simple act of kindness would drag David into a whole chain of trouble he never saw coming. At first, the kids got along just fine and followed the rules. But then this boy struck out 3 times. According to the rules, he was supposed to hand over the bat, but he flat out refused. He gripped it tight, swinging it around and screaming. It was getting dangerous. David's cousin William happened to see the whole thing. He immediately flagged it to the boy's father. But the dad just gave his son a half-hearted scolding and didn't bother stepping in. Seeing that the kid still showed no sign of stopping, William walked over and snatched the bat right out of his hands. But instead of backing down, the boy kicked William hard in the leg. William wasn't about to put up with that kind of behavior. And when the boy's parents saw their child get disciplined, they completely lost it. They rushed over and started screaming at William. That set William off too. He wasn't angry at the kid, he was angry at the parents for not doing their job. Luckily, David stepped in again and managed to defuse the situation. But after all the drama, nobody was in the mood to celebrate anymore. What was supposed to be a lively birthday party came to an awkward and early end. The next day, David went to see the boy's father and sincerely apologized on William's behalf. But what he never expected was that the couple had already hired a lawyer. They were determined to take William to court. Back home, David broke the news to William and urged him to go apologize in person. William couldn't believe what he was hearing. The kid was the one causing trouble in the first place. All he did was protect the other children. Why should he be the one to apologize? But after weighing the pros and cons, William reluctantly agreed to swallow his pride. So the next day, David accompanied him to the boy's house. William put his ego aside and apologized over and over again. He even offered to pay a generous sum in emotional damages, just to get them to drop the case. But the boy's mother wouldn't budge. She insisted that the slap had caused irreversible psychological damage to her son. No amount of money could fix that. They refused to drop the lawsuit, no matter what. The argument flared up again, and this time, it pushed William over the edge. He realized there was no way around this. He had no choice but to hire a lawyer and fight it in court. During the investigation, William's lawyer uncovered something crucial. It turned out the boy's parents had been heavy drinkers for years. Even during pregnancy and breastfeeding, the mother never once held back. It was this reckless and irresponsible lifestyle that caused the boy to develop bipolar disorder from a young age. In court, William's lawyer zeroed in on this point and built the entire defense around it. The boy's parents finally admitted their own failings. They confessed that they had always carried deep guilt over what they'd done to their son. And it was precisely because of that guilt that they felt the need to protect him at all costs. After both sides finished presenting their cases, the judge and jury deliberated carefully and delivered the verdict. William was found guilty of intentional harm. Regardless of the circumstances, he should never have struck a 5-year-old child. The boy's parents, on the other hand, were ordered to immediately stop their drinking habits and provide a healthy environment for their son. Failure to comply would result in the termination of their parental rights. On top of that, William was ordered to pay $50,000 in emotional damages. In the end, there were no real winners. The cost of impulsiveness, the failure of parenting, the stubbornness of human nature, it all came pouring out over something that should have stayed small.